Good evening, everyone. Well, we're at week 3 of the UFL is underway, and we'll talk about the game that just ended right now. It's a game, the home opener between the Birmingham Stallions and the Memphis Showboats. When their schedule originally came out, I was looking forward to this game, but after looking how things went the first 2 weeks, this was the game I was looking forward to the least. And tonight was really the first blowout we've had of the 10 games we had so far this year. Memphis, I thought, had a real solid team coming in this year, and I thought Birmingham had the best team. But after the first 2 weeks and seeing how dominant Birmingham was, despite the fact they have 2 new quarterbacks, and how Memphis was not that impressive. They let the opponents hang around, and they dodged one kind of with the Roughnecks, and they blew a heartbreaker last week at home to San Antonio. And tonight, it was ugly, dude. It was ugly. Despite the fact that time possession was almost an even 30 minutes apiece, Birmingham had double the amount of yards, 424 to 212 on the offense. They had a 100-yard rushing game, and Memphis never got theirs on the way. They got 20. Adrian Martinez was really good tonight. 18 to 28, 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 188 rating. Case Cookers, oh boy, did he take a beating tonight. I mean, they did everything but rape him. Where they have something like 8 sacks on him. He was hit several times, hurried several times. It was a long night. 15 to 22, 139 yards, 1 touchdown, a 136 rating. Of course, they brought in Williams at the end of the game. When the game was still out of reach, I mean, it was a 15-point lead, but it's the beginning of the fourth quarter. And we saw what happened today. In the first game, we saw what happened last week with San Antonio and Memphis. Game was still in hand, but Coach DeFilippo pretty much said to him, listen, it's not you. I know it's not you, but I'm thinking long term, and I need you. That has nothing to do with you. And, of course, later on, you see Case Cook is telling other teammates it's been a long time since I've been pulled from a game. I'm not used to it, and I don't like it. He told me he's trying to protect me. I'm not so sure. Case Cookis, he did it to protect you. He did it to protect you. You guys took quite the beating today. I mean, this game wasn't pretty. I mean, 7 to 10 Birmingham was on third downs to 6 to 14 for Memphis. The offensive line for Memphis did not look good. I don't know if they're not that good or Birmingham was just that great tonight. I mean, I've said along from the beginning, Birmingham has the best team. They brought all the guys back from the last 2 years, and they got stacked up more in talent, despite the fact they have 2 new quarterbacks. And their first championship quarterback is a third stringer. What does that tell you about this team? 12,265 people saw a good old-fashioned ass whipping. I mean, you cannot call it anything else. And I stand by what Filippo did. He had to pull him. He had to pull him, and that was a smart move. I understand that Case Cookers didn't like it, and at first I didn't. I was like, the game's still there, but it was a terrible game all around for Memphis. It's one of those games where it's your division opponent, and you're going to face it one more time at home. And by then, you just got to worry about next week's game. Now, the first game today, the ESPN game. The game I was looking forward to the most. I am a DC Defender fan. I haven't forgotten what happened to me last year in my team in that championship game. And what a game it was, and really what an ending it was. Truth be told, I was expecting DC to come out more fired up than they did. But you look at the stats of this game, this tells you how resilient, how tough this DC team is. Time of possession was 40-20 almost in favor of the Renegades. 419 yards or 259 yards offense in favor of the Renegades. Luis Perez had a good game today. He was 24-40, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, 37-yard passer rating. And he was amazing. Rushing yards, Arlington rushed the ball better, 123-82. First downs, 24-16 in favor of Arlington. 13 of 18 for Arlington and third downs to 4-9. 72-44 in favor of Arlington on total plays. Now, granted, in the first half, the DC defense should have had 3 interceptions. That could have been a game changer for them. And their defenders dropped 3 easy interceptions, to which you have to give credit. Arlington took advantage. Jordan Tambo was 11-24 today over 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 139 passer rating. You see why he was the player of the year last year for the defenders. But again, this game, like last week's San Antonio Memphis game, came down pretty much to the last 5 minutes. Arlington failed to score a touchdown. They had to set up for a field goal. That ended up being a big deal. Washington comes down, scores a touchdown. They go for the famous 4th and 12 conversion and convert it. And then Matt McCrane hits a 49-yard field goal to win it. And the DC defenders win 29-28. And you look at the stats and nothing adds up. And you look at the final score and you think, how the heck did DC score 29 points? How the heck did Arlington lose this game? And listen, you got to give your tip your hat to the Hayes brothers and Bob Stoops. They figured out how to tear apart this Greg Williams defense. And Greg Williams, as I said over and over again, there's a reason why he's not coaching in the NFL, is because he's hard-headed and stubborn and he refuses to make adjustments. I mean, don't forget, this guy is a student of Buddy Ryan. He was his assistant when in the early 90s with the Houston Oilers. We know how stubborn Buddy Ryan was. Well, there you go. Birds of the same feather flock together. Other than Jordan Tambo, who had a pretty solid game, he was also the elite rusher with 53 yards. This is why getting him back this year was so important, because with the loss of Lucky Jackson, Chris Blyer, and having the retirement and losing Abram Smith, I don't know where this team would be without him. Even with DeAndre Francois as a backup. I mean, you look at the top receiving. Scott had 3 for 48. Harmon had 2 for 51. Rowland had 2 for 36 with a touchdown. Nothing other than Jordan Tambo sticks out in this game. But because of the awesome rules in this league, and yes, I do like this league very much. I like the rules they have in place. The 1, 2, and 3 point conversions and the 4th and 12 onside conversion make a big difference. Now, the only thing I hope, I'm going to say this, is I hope they bring back the XFL kickoff next year. Even though I really have no problem with the USFL kickoff, watching the NFL steal the XFL kickoff when we decided to go to the USFL kickoff just irks me. Because the NFL constantly steals stuff from other leagues and they use it for their own. But that first game was a real exciting game. I mean, we've had, out of the 10 games, we've had pretty much 9 nail biters. Just a one blowout today with Birmingham and Memphis. So, as a football fan, as a fan of spring football, you have to be happy what you saw for the first 9 games. Now, we have 2 more games tomorrow. Both of them will be played inside in Dome Stadium, so weather will not be an issue. The noon game on the Fox Network, you'll have the Houston Roughnecks 0-2 going against Michigan, who will play their 3rd straight home game. They're 1-1. And the late game, which is the one I'm looking forward to the most, St. Louis at San Antonio. That should be a pretty good game. Anyway, let me know what you think. Put your comments down below. I'd love to hear your opinion. Listen, if you love competitive football, you have nothing to complain about. And right now, I'm sure there's a lot of NFL teams right now drooling over the kickers they had to choose from the XFL, from the UFL, I'm sorry. Because right now there was a kicker problem last year in the NFL, and right now they got to be looking at these guys in the UFL. How on earth did they find these guys? Anyway, we're almost 12 hours away from kickoff of the Michigan and Houston game. You all enjoy the football games tomorrow. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you later.